Good morning, FlossTube. My name's Mandy, and this is my FlossTube channel about cross stitch. I will share some quilting as well, so hopefully you enjoy both. Today, I'm just planning to do a WIP parade. I have roughly 60-ish WIPs. I don't know the actual number, and so that's part of the goal of this video, is to count. I will count afterwards, so I'm not going to count as I'm going through them, because I will lose count. Anyways, I have tried several times to hop on here to film this, but it is really hard when you have 2 children and your husband is not home because he's in the field at work. And so anyways, yeah, this is like at least the 3rd time I've started to record this thing. Hopefully I can make it through. It is July 27th. It's about 6 in the morning. I usually am an early riser, so that's okay. But you might hear my 2 dogs running around. Hopefully they stay quiet. And hopefully the kids stay asleep so I can make it through this. I am in a different spot than normal. I usually film downstairs in my craft room, which is in the basement. But I thought since everybody was asleep and this was kind of a nice spot to film. You know, you can see this quilt that I have on the wall. I try to change those out seasonally. And this is a quilt I made this year. It was a Moda kit. I think it was called Dessert Sampler or something like that, because it used these like 5-inch strips in various colors. Anyways, it was something I purchased several years ago from Fat Quarter Shop as a box kit, and yeah, I enjoyed it. So I think I'm actually gonna pause and put these dogs outside. So give me a minute. Okay, let's get started. So just fair warning, most of this stuff is in bags that are zipped. Nothing is ironed. Like I said, I do not have a lot of time to prep for these things. So yeah, here we are. Let's see. These WIPs are not really in any specific order, more so just kind of, yeah, they're not in any particular order. I'm just kind of gonna pull a few at one time and go. But this first one, I don't have a cover photo because it's a mystery quilt. A mystery stitch along with Jardin Privé. She it started, I want to say early June maybe. There's been one release a week for like the last couple weeks, and this is where I'm at. I have kept up with this, and so there's just one more release on Monday. I'm assuming it's going to be a fence and stuff in that bottom corner. Yeah, but so that's fun. Finally, like, I started to stitch along and kept up with it. That's why I haven't stitched on a ton of other stuff in this past, since this stitch along has started, just because I'm trying to keep up with it. These are all the called for DMCs. So that's the first one. The second one is on my WIP go board, Pernice Manor by Teresa Kogut. This was an exclusive. I don't think it still is. With back in 2022, Quilter Station out in Lee Summit, Missouri, so near Kansas City. They do it, like, I think they do it twice a year, cross stitch retreat called Cross Stitch Extravaganza, and so I went in the fall of 22 when we lived out that way, and this was one of the exclusives for it. So it uses DMC and a few weeks. This particular stitch isn't exactly my style of stitching, so it's probably why there's so little start on it. It's stitched on 40 count. What is this called? Vintage Country Mocha, the printed one, which is a nice fabric. I don't often stitch on 40 count though, just because it's small. I can see it okay, but it's small, and I just go slow, so I don't stitch on it very often. I have a few projects on 40 count, a few on 36, but I think from here on out I'm gonna probably, unless it's like really huge, that kind of gets me when they're so big. I don't love them, but yeah, I'm probably gonna stick with smaller counts from now here on out. I don't have a cover photo for this, but I'm sure you've seen it. It's called Hive Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. It's the call for DMC. Here's my start. This is 25 count, just white Lugana. This is probably my actually favorite fabric to stitch on right now. It's just so easy. I know like the stitches are huge, but it's just it's so easy to stitch on. 25 count over 2. I started that one for It Be Tuesday this year. That was hosted by Java Girl Stitches. I got through like 2 weeks and then bailed. Mostly because I got busy, not because I didn't want to do the stitch along anymore. This one I started recently, and this is Lori Holt's Beehive House. I'm in the quarterly club from Fat Quarter Shop. And so I started this. I'm stitching it with the called for DMC on her 25 count farmhouse. And this was one of those ones I kind of was just itching for a start. I had this kitted up, and it's gonna be huge, but I don't know. I like stitching on this fabric, and I definitely don't really know what I'd call myself in terms of a product versus a process stitcher. I like having the completed project, but sometimes it is just about the process for me. So, okay, this is a bunch of, this is a series that I started for 12 by 12 New Year's Eve of 2022. So that was basically, I knew I wanted to stitch all these, and I started one every hour for 12 hours between noon and midnight. And I only put like a strand in each start, and so it was like 20 minutes of stitching every hour. It wasn't like a full hour of stitching, which would be great, but I can't sit and stitch for 12 hours. One, because I probably would get bored a little bit, and two, because, you know, life. Anyways, so I finished the first half of the series, so January through June, and I'm still working through the rest. I don't have a cover photo for this one. This is the only one that is a PDF version. So this is a July Quaker. Sorry, I guess I don't know if I said what the series was. I'll show you these because these are be a little bit better. So here is what August Quaker will look like. I'm stitching these with the called for floss on a 28 count lightly colored. It's 2 different linens, I think. One, this is a Be Stitch Me, probably vanilla latte or something like that, 28 count. Here's what September will look like. Sorry. September, this is my start. This is a 28 count Cafe French Country Mocha by Witchelt, which is the Cafe French versions of Witchelt are very soft. So if you don't like Witchelt because of its stiff, look for the Cafe, I think it's Cafe French. Here's my measly little 1 strand. November. There's November. As you can see, I started all of them in a little bit of a different spot. I think it kind of just depended on what I wanted to stitch. So here's December. So yeah, I had high goals this year to finish this series, and I'm obviously a little behind on July right now, but I don't know, maybe I could catch up and stay up to date, but I'm really trying to finish some of these things. And so this one I don't have a cover photo for. This was another mystery stitch along, like several years ago, probably in 2021 with Jardin Privé called, it's in French, but I call it Birdhouses style because it's like one birdhouse a month. And this is on my WIP board this year, but this has been like a project for way too long. I really like it. I really enjoy this fabric, which is like a 28 count. It's probably natural or something. It's something I got at Joann's, and I'm stitching it with the DMC. There's a lot of back stitch in this, but gosh, I think it'll look good when it's done. And so this is on my WIP board. It hasn't been called yet this year, but and so it's on my WIP board twice, and so I'm hoping to finish it this year because my goals on WIP are to stitch for 5 days, twice in a year, twice that it gets called. So I think that'll probably take a little more than 10 days of stitching, but all right, this one is also on the WIP board. Sorry, I just have this small picture. It's Happy Camper by the Blue Flower. Started this a couple years ago. This has already been called twice, so this has had its 10 days worth of work. This is a 40 count. I think it's called Dirty Brown by XJU Designs. So again, 40 count, 1/2. I just go really slow on it. Here's the floss. So it's mostly the called for, unless I like substituted an overdyed one that I didn't have in my stash. And in reality, I probably have it in my stash, but it's probably in another project. So I will just pull similar colors from other different companies. Here is the next one. This one has been a WIP for way too long too. And a Forest Grew by Rosewood Manor. As most of you know, this thing is huge. 36 count Tycho by Pictureless Plus, I think is what I'm stitching it on. So I initially started in the top right corner, and I stitched to the bottom, and then I realized I didn't like stitching from right. What is that? Yeah. No. And like stitching from left to right. I like starting in the top right corner. Sorry, I said that wrong. So I stitched across the top to the best I could and started in this corner. So now I have like, these are page finishes, half page finishes, and then I'm slowly trying to work my way across. This is 36 count 1/1. What? No, 36 count 1/2, which I'm realizing I don't love. I think the coverage is too sparse, but I feel like 2/2 on 36 count is too thick, so I don't. I think I just need to avoid 36 count is kind of the reality, or you know, if it's like a tighter weave, maybe like a Lugana 36 would be okay. What's in here? Oh, this was another from that cross stitch extravaganza. This was Blackbird Designs. Moments of Glad Grace. This has been released now. I have the called for floss. I'm pretty sure she gave it to us kitted up like this. Sorry if you can hear that dog. I probably need to let him in. Gosh dang it. I don't remember the name of this linen, but this is, it's another 40 count. But it's a hand over dyed one. But yeah, it's pretty. But again, it's not like 100% my style. So that's just why it's kind of sat for a little while. Okay, this is an Al Forest embroidery. I have lots of their kits, and this is like the first one that I've actually started. It's called Queen Rose. I don't know if you can see that okay. And so this was a kit that I got. I'm stitching it with on their linen, which I lost the needle, it looks like. Ooh. Their linen with their floss. This is not on my WIP board. At least it hasn't been called yet. If it has, I don't think it has, but I'd like to finish it this year. I started it like Christmas time 2020, 22. So it's been sitting for too long. Okay, these, I don't know why I have both of these in the same bag, but I do. So one of them, they're both on my WIP Go board. One of them I will for sure finish this year once it gets called next. The other one, not gonna happen, but these are the colors. It's an ink circles called Green Damsel. Sorry, it's a digital, so I don't have the photo. This is a probably 32 count Lugana by Stitch Me. I don't remember the color. It's almost done. I just have to do the green stitching on the bottom. And so that's like roughly 2,000 stitches, so I for sure should be able to finish that when it gets called next. So that'll be good to knock it off. This other one is called Cavane by Long Dog Samplers. This is my progress. This is another, sorry, God, these are terribly, really should have ironed them. That's my progress. This is another WIP Go piece. Long Dog Samplers. The color was a Stitch Me silk that I got in like a mystery box. I don't, it's pretty. I like purple. When I started it, I really liked it. I'm not in love with it anymore, and so I think that's why I'm having a hard time picking it up. But that's okay. Next one is Moonlit Sampler by the Blue Flower. This, I can't remember if it's on my WIP Go board or not. I don't think I've worked on it yet this year. If it is, I pulled, looks like it's probably similar to the called for, and I don't know the name of this fabric. I remember I started it several years ago. I think it goes this way, and I just put in that arch. There was some stitch along going on, and it's all gung-ho, I want to join, and I started it, and then it's probably 40 count, and so I didn't continue working on it. Let me see if this has the, it's 40 count Wet Sand by, or 36 count Wet Sand by Stitch Me. Is that linen? All right, this one will for sure be a finish this year because I am bound and determined. This thing got started like just right around the pandemic start time in 2022. And it was kind of my first foray into stitching over two. And so I really did not appreciate the concept of size over two. And so this is, I really liked the fabric. And I won this in like a giveaway from Stitch Me. It's Coffee Quaker from Heartstring Samplery. And I took like a class up in, at, what was that shop called? The one near Denver. I can't think of it. But that's when we lived in Colorado at the time. And I like took a class on stitching on linen, and I was all excited to start. I kitted this project up in that class. And now it's just been lingering because it's ginormous. Coffee Quaker. I'm really close to a finish, and so that's why I want to finish it this year. This is on my WIP Go board. It's called for August, so this will be finished in August. This is what I'm going to put my efforts into until it's done. Okay, two more like WIP Go pieces, and then they're kind of just random. Gosh, I don't have the cover photo for this either. This is, so I'm in Teresa Kogut's Patreon group. This was released to the Patreon group a long time ago, like August or September of 22. And I started it immediately on an 18 count. This is Stitch Me. I want to say it's Toast. I am very close to the bottom border. I think I maybe started it the wrong direction, like it should have been this way, but I don't know. I don't remember. But this, I don't know why this has just lingered for so long because I really like the piece. I think it's just big, and I find I have times where I like want to get a finish on a little thing, and so I have lots of easy start and finishes on little stuff. All right, this one is gorgeous. Owlsmore Cottage by Rosewood Manor, another WIP gold. It's only been called once, but I really didn't work on it that much, I don't feel like. I pulled mostly Victorian motto, it looks like. And here is my progress. I don't know this fabric. It's a Outback Jack 28 count linen by Be Stitch Me. I love this piece, and I don't really know why I haven't stitched on it. It's 28 count, so I don't have a really good excuse there. I really like the colors. I think I got kind of discouraged because this motif, the blues are supposed to be two different blues, and they are two different blues, but I picked ones that are way too close to each other. And so I kind of got discouraged. So I went back, and I'm not going to pull those out, but I found another blue that hopefully is going to be a little more different. So yeah, give me a second to put these away. And move on to the next. I have like a little tiered tray here with 3 tiers of my WIPs. This one, let me see if I can find a picture. It's called Sampler Aux Fleurs by Jardin Privé. I just like started on a whim sometime this year because I wanted to stitch it because it was beautiful, and I kept seeing different people on FlossTube talk about it. And let's see, where is it? Sorry. Gosh, I thought I loaded into Pattern Keeper. Sure I did. But it's not. Okay, well, let me find it a different way. But yeah, I'd seen a bunch of people talking about it on FlossTube. Not a bunch of people. I think I saw one person. I think it was Carolyn Manning, actually. I saw her stitching on it. Not Carolyn Manning. Seazook Stitch. I saw her stitching on it, and I thought, oh, I want to do that. Sorry, this is taking forever. So Sampler Aux Fleurs, Jardin Privé. It's really pretty. I'm sure it stands for Sampler of Flowers. And so I randomly just started it one day because I wanted a new start, and it's not too bad for a day of stitching. So that's the bottom right corner. This is it's tight, it's a Lugana, probably a 32 count Lugana by Be Stitch Me. It's called for DMCs. So that one's pretty. This next one, see if I can find the chart. Honestly, I forgot I brought my tablet over here for the first part of this video. So Fat Quarter Shop a couple years ago did a series of these charts, and I think you could sign up for a kit, or I don't know, but so this is Freedom Patchwork Series. It's by Fat Quarter Shop. Either it was a free PDF or a low price PDF, or maybe it was not even low price, I don't remember. But they did like NPI thread packs. So this is stitched with NPIs, which are glorious to stitch with. That's a silk. This is my project. I started it on Flag Day of this year because it had been kitted for too long, and I wanted to get it started, and I like fill-in stitching like that. I haven't worked on it a ton. I pulled it out over 4th of July, but that was about it. So hopefully now that it's started, I can get it finished next year. That's the goal, right? All right, you have seen this one, I'm sure. Lots and lots and lots of people are stitching it. 324 by Works by ABC. This was released this year at Market. I have really good progress. This is like 1, 2, 3 pages. I'm gonna do this page next, and then so I'll just have 2 more. This is a 32 count, just white. It's really a really fun stitch because I basically pull the floss by page, and so then I can go row by row and row by row and stitch it. Okay, that didn't make any sense, but sorry. This next one I started just recently, early the end of June, because we were going on a vacation to Washington State. That's where I'm from. My parents, my family still lives there basically, and my parents have a boat that they take up to the San Juan Islands every year. And so for some reason I wanted one project to take on this trip that I could just pull out easily enough. And it's only one color. And I thought it would just be like a good way to remember this trip. So this is Fish and Ships by Long Dog. Here is my progress, which, you know, decent progress for a week trip. Yeah, so this is an, what's the fabric? It's a 36 count Be Stitch Me. I can't remember the name. Sorry, can't remember the name. But it's Aegean, that was what it was called. Like the Aegean Sea. And so I thought it just fit. And I'm stitching it with like B5200 DMC or something. Okay, this one is another Jardin Privé. She was released a couple years ago. I started a couple years ago. I had the hopes of putting, I don't have the cover photo on here. I had the hopes of putting a strand a day into this, or I'm searching for it, sorry. Working it on the 25th of each month, and that just wasn't going to happen. So this is what the chart looks like, Jardin Privé. So it's like 3 different colors, but she did a green version, and so I just pulled 3 greens, and this is my progress. I think it's like that. So yeah, I got a long way to go, but I really like it. And I dyed this fabric because I wanted a certain color, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I just wanted to try dyeing it, but I really like that. I'm concerned there's no needle in it. Maybe it either fell out or I took it out. I don't know. So that'll hopefully get a few stitches this year. All right, this one, Nora Corbett, Bewitching Electra. It's a Bewitching Pixie series. This is like my first Nora Corbett. Stitching it on it's called Headless Horseman 32 count Lugana by Be Stitch Me, which I don't have very much. This fabric is beautiful, but it was tight to stitch with 2 threads. And so I'm a little worried about the beads actually, because as you probably know with overdyed stuff, they say it's 32 count Lugana, but sometimes it shrinks up, and so that could really be like I don't know, 34, so the beads might be too big. Again, I started this before I kind of really started putting thought into things like that. Okay. This one is who is it by? Satsuma Street? Yeah, she's got a crap. Why isn't it in here? Sorry, I don't have the cover photo. Oh, I have it on my okay. Satsuma, I think it's Satsuma Street. Yes, Invierno by Satsuma Street. This is what it'll look like finished. I'm stitching it on probably a 28 count Lugana. This is my progress. It's minimal. This really should be a finish this year if it's calling to me. That's kind of the problem. I don't know why it wasn't calling to me. Probably because of all the color changes. They're really beautiful colors. And she has a series with this that I like all of them. I have all of them. I just hold the stitch on it. All right, Silhouettes by Teresa Corbett. Sorry, this is really crinkling. Silhouettes. I don't know when I started this last, gosh, 20, and I don't have very much. Ooh, that color is horrible. It's much oranger. My kind of daylight is coming, and I wonder if I turned off the overhead light if it would be better, then I'd be backlit. That's closer, maybe. It's actually a lot oranger than that. I'm stitching it with the called for DMC. This, I don't remember. There was a stitch along hosted by somebody, and I started it then and probably put 2 days worth and stopped working on it. Sorry, crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. Okay, this one is Halloween and Quilt by Corey Badcore. I'm sure I'm stitching it with the called for DMC on like this giant 14 count. Oh, 14 count aid. It's fun to stitch. I mean, 14 count is super easy, and I really like it. All the colors and but it's been a WIP for God, who knows how long. So I started it in September of 2020. As a 4 years old, that's pretty pathetic amount of stitching for 4 years. I don't think I've worked on it in 2 or 3 years, so sorry. It's kind of just sitting. I don't have a cover photo for this one, do I? Oh, maybe I do. No, this is just the shirt. So you can see a little bit of it there. This was in a Midnight Magic by Emma Congdon. It was in a magazine. And I had one day in probably 2020 that or maybe 2021 that I started like 5 Halloween projects at one time. And this was one of them, and that's all I put in. And that's all it's done since, which is crazy. But so you see, like, all these lingering WIPs need to get finished. Okay. This is Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. This linen is called S'mores by Be Stitch Me. And that's my progress. You could probably go back and watch my WIP parade from a couple years ago, and this would look the same, which is sad. I don't want to be like that. I want to get these things finished because I hate is strong. I dislike starting. I usually don't like UFO stuff. I've UFO'd a couple things that I'm just like, the colors aren't working or whatever. But like those, there's no reason to UFO them. I like them still. That's what I'm looking for, the cover photo for you. This was another, so August 2021 Patreon release by Teresa Coget. it's out now because we're in 2024, and this chart is gorgeous. It's just huge. This is a 32 count Lugana in the colorway Scroll by Be Stitch Me. I got the border in, but good golly, look at how big that thing is. Holy crap. So yeah, hopefully we'll pull that out this year and stitch on it a little bit. The Halloween time frame is just so short. Like I feel like I only feel like stitching on Halloween in October, and so I really like stitching on Halloween. I just don't get a lot of time to do it. This Seasons on Chalk Art Halloween, this was a series in Just Cross Stitch magazine. I know the series was in 2016. I didn't start it until 20 something, probably 2021. 16 count chalkboard black. This is one that is like, I will finish this year. This is the last in that series that I'm gonna stitch that I haven't stitched yet. And I like getting all the white in, and then it's kind of just like coloring in on coloring pages, but with thread. So it's fun in those situations. So let me pull these out. Okay, there's only a couple left. That's not too bad. Okay, these are all in random order, and I'm now piled here on my lap. PPF, this one, Isabella's Heart by Modern Folk Embroidery. I just started this last Valentine's Day because I had it kitted for a while. Let's see, this is 32 count slate Lugana. I think it goes like this, actually. That's a bird. And then I pulled 3 Victorian Motto floss. I was in her club for a little while, several years ago. So I have a lot of Victorian mottos. I don't think she does a club anymore, but I don't know. Let's see, that's cute. It's not even a... Oh, this one I started for Long Dog Leap Day Sal, because I'd had it kitted for years and years, and I had wanted to, let's see if I can find it. I had wanted to do it as like an anniversary stitch. My anniversary was like 2 days ago, and I didn't stitch on it at all, but Long Dog Samplers Starlit Ribands. Oh, that's so pretty. So pretty. And I have a bunch of this Cranberry Belle Soie, which is so gorgeous to stitch with. And this is like a, again, 40 count. Gosh, I want to say it's flax, but that's my measly little start. So Long Dog Leap Day Sal, the goal is to finish it by the next leap day, which is maybe doable. Maybe if I actually work on it. What's in here? I don't know what this is. Oh, I don't have a picture of this. In this year's Just Cross Stitch magazine, there is a 4-part series by Carolyn Manning called Hummingbird Garden. And I was enabled by Seazook Stitch to start it. I got the kit from whoever you could order it from, Annie's Kits or something like that. And I started it, and I got 2 months in, like 1.5, honestly. This is like a 28 count Joblin. I like the linen, or the fabric. The floss is like Anchor floss, which is really, I mean, gosh, it's gorgeous colors. Really, really, really pretty. And the piece is beautiful, but for some reason I just haven't stitched on it. It's all about time, and sometimes I just want to sit down and hold a smaller project in my hand. Okay, I started this one on Earth Day. This is the book Cross Stitch for the Earth by Emma Congdon. I really liked this sentiment. We don't inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. So, and the colors are gorgeous. This is a 28 count even weave of some sort. And there's my start. This one I'd like to finish sooner rather than later. The colors are pretty. I'm happy to finally start something from this book that I've had for forever. But other side. Sorry, that's kind of an awkward change, but I started this year, 17th block party, my hands-on design. I started it on St. Patrick's Day. And I got some of the words. This is on the called for fabric. It's like an artichoke, called Artichoke, I think, by Witchout. This one I started on Thanksgiving last year. Uber Turkey by Bent Creek. Super cute. Stitching it on a, this is some even weave by Be Stitch Me, but made pretty good progress. Yeah, made really good progress. This will be finished this year for this Thanksgiving when I finally pull stuff out for holiday stitching. We're getting there, folks. Thanks for hanging in. Okay, started this for Christmas in July last year and then realized I don't like Christmas in July. I'm not in the mood to stitch Christmas in July. Welcome to the North Pole by Primrose Cottage. I think this was released last year. This fabric is a Hot Cocoa 28 count Joe blend by Be Stitch Me. I have the called for floss. It's really pretty. And I do like to finish it. I just can't stitch Christmas in July. It was actually like a stitch along. You're supposed to stitch one a month, and then I got so far behind that I didn't start it back up. Okay. Blend in place. Sorry, lots of switching back and forth. Woodland Wonder by Glendon Place. I saw, what's her name? Oh, I know all these floss tubers' names when I'm not on the screen. She wanted to stitch it for her birthday. This was several years ago. This is the Picture This Plus linen that I got the whole kit from Glendon Place. And I started it on her birthday in November, and I did not get much progress. So that's that. This should be the last kit from that cross stitch extravaganza retreat. This is a Housewife. It's called Harvest Housewife. I've never stitched one of these before. So I thought, hey, why not? Let's try it. I got one of the small pieces, and that's the start of the front. This is a 40 count linen, so that's why it's where it's at. Hopefully I'll finish it this year. Okay, 3 more whips. Gosh, that's not too bad. This is the only picture I have of this. This was, I think it's a Barbara Anna design, but it was sold by Nitka Moscow several years ago. It was a kit that I got, and I thought I was gonna UFO this last year, but then I pulled it out and actually started stitching on it and really liked it. It's fun, bright colors, so I decided I'll keep working on it. Maybe it'll be finished this year. Maybe. I'd like for it to be, but so many projects, so little time, right? Quaker Pumpkins by Hello from Liz Matthews. This is a 40 count even weave, so I feel like it's even smaller than 40 count linen. It's not, but that's my progress on it. It's slow going, and I pulled Victorian mottos for it. Yeah, I started this project in 2020, and I don't think I've touched it since 2020. That's sad. Like, I've done a lot of stitching in between there. Some of these projects are just lingering. I should make it a goal 2025 to finish a lot of these things, because that's just pathetic. Okay, snowballs for sale. This is a Lori Holt one released several years ago. There's the floss. It's DMC. I'm stitching it on, what's this say? 25 count Heritage Lugana, which I like stitching on this, so, or, you know, I like that fabric, so it really should be pretty easy to pull out and finish. Hopefully this year. Okay, folks, that's it. It doesn't seem like that should be it, but these are all older projects. Like a few you saw that I started this year, but most of them are like from 2022, between 2020 and 2022. And so hopefully, you know, I'll finish some this year. Hopefully I can go through and kind of prioritize and finish the old ones, because I just feel like a project shouldn't hang around for that long, I guess. So, hey, we're only at 45 minutes. I thought this would be a lot longer than that. So thank you for sticking by me. Hopefully you liked it, and hopefully I will come back. I'm hoping to do like end of the month updates. And so hopefully I'll either come back next weekend or the first weekend in August, and I can talk about what I worked on in July, and which you actually just saw several things that I worked on in July. Some of it's been like start and finishes, but what I worked on in July and what I plan to do in August is kind of my goal. So I'm going to clean up. Kids are still asleep. I can hopefully enjoy my coffee and maybe stitch a little bit. And yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to catch you soon. Bye.